My mother, grandmother, and great grandmother, when my brother and I were growing up, worked every job you could imagine. My mom was a nurse. She drove a bus. My grandma was a housekeeper. They took elder care of elderly people. They took care of families that we were in grade school. And the kids treated my brother and I like crap because my family worked for theirs. And I'll never forget when I got older, I always had a fear of anything can happen at any time. Like to this day, I go to bed at night and I'm fearful at times. Sometime I'm never going to wake up. And how's that going to be with the rest of the world? Anybody going to miss me? Anybody going to care? And I realize now that I have wonderful people in my life, and I'm praying to God I wake up tomorrow. But those things create the anxiety, create the fear. Now, me being an addict, when I have those feelings, I turn to the sex, I turn to eating, or I used to turn to gambling. One instance that tells you what a selfish, self-centered human being and a manipulative person I am. My mother passed away on April 4th this year, 2023. My mother, in her possession, had an envelope. She probably kept it for, I'd say, about 30 years. In there were the receipts for over $37,000, Western Union to me, in 1 month. 1 month. At that time, I lived in New York. I worked at a bar as a bartender, a place called the Palladium. I was making $1,000 or more a night. But I asked my mother for money. And my mother did anything in the world, which a lot of us have family members that will do anything in the world for us because they're afraid we're going to kill ourselves. They're afraid we're going to die. They're afraid of something. Many of us who deal with addiction or mental health issues, we manipulate the people we love to get what we want rather than what we need. And there's a huge difference. I was that type of person. I've done that to my brother. Even when I became an adult, my brother's one of the most amazing men. I only have envy literally for two men in my life, or two people. My brother's one, and another gentleman that passed away a while back was a wonderful friend of mine. But my manipulation, once you start it, it's hard to stop. It's like when you tell these, I love when people say a little white lie. Either tell a really big lie or don't tell a lie at all. Every time we do something like that, it escalates in our mind, those of us who deal with the issues that I deal with. What do I do the next time? How do I do the next time? What's going to happen next time? Social media is a beautiful gift to us, but you don't know who the hell you're dealing with. And so many people get on social media, you get lied to, you get used, you get love bombed, you get everything because you have no idea. You can get catfish. You have no idea who's on the other end. But who's ever on the other end makes you feel good about yourself because someone's communicating with us. It's nice to meet people in person, hard to at times, but it's nice to. But the manipulation is something that I think every person does. It don't matter what the situation is. Parents do it to their kids to get them. A family friend of mine, they're training their son, potty training him. And I said, how's it going? And they said, well, the kid loves Skittles. It was funny because they're manipulating him to think, okay, you get Skittles, you go to potty. You do. It's comical to me, but it is a form of manipulation. And when we're adults, whether it's work, whether it's relationships, how many of us go to restaurants and we actually, I could never do this because I don't trust anybody, say, well, what on the menu do you like, to the waiter or waitress? Well, they'll tell you what they like. If you ever think about this, it's usually the highest priced thing on the meal. It's always a manipulation. So we have to take a step back, those of us who deal with issues, and really be responsible.